Hi, my name's Simon. I'm known as Simon Bowbar. I have a little group called Prehistoric Bronze, and we're into Bronze Age reenactment, living history and general ancient crafty kind of stuff. So what we're going to be making today is a replica of a late Bronze Age knife. It's Etruscan, so it's very late Bronze Age, 1100,000 BC. And what we're going to do is we're going to replicate the process from the Bronze Age but using a modern material, because the time it takes to use clay or stone is too long for the time we have, and so it's using a modern casting sand to create a bivalve mould. In style, when you look at it, it's very similar in shape to a modern bushcrafty knife, so you can see that they've developed an understanding of what edges cut, the angles you need and how they function. But the rebate on it, it may have been functional purpose to give the hilt itself strength, but it looks to me like that's where you rebate scale. So the ones I've made at home, I put bog oak in and they're riveted through. But it's such a utilitarian knife. I've used it for carving bowls, spoons, general woodwork. So initially we start off by creating one half of the bivalve out of the sand, which is a direct comparison to how it would have been done with clay. You then have a wooden former which you press in, which creates the image that you want. We'll then close the mould box, the mould flask in modern terms, and replicate that process by compressing sand on top. So when the mould has been completed, we then open the flask up and remove the wooden former, and we're left with a negative impression of the wooden form that we want. We then have to put in a spruing system, so you've got your vents for any gases that need to escape, the gate and the sprue and the pouring cup for the bronze to enter. We'll then bring the temperature up in the furnace to around about 1100 degrees, just charcoal and a bit of wind power and a bit of elbow grease. But essentially it's exactly the same process, and we're looking for colour changes within the materials to give us an idea of how the temperature is progressing. Of course, if in doubt, you just lift the lid and have a look, but we try not to. Then the molten bronze is actually poured directly into the mould. It doesn't take too long for it to cool, and then we can open it up and hopefully we've got a successful pour. In the Bronze Age, it is very much trial and error and a lot of hard work. You're talking about processing materials raw from nature. So back on the farm where I'm based, we're digging from the clay from the ground, horse poo from the field. We make our own charcoal. The only thing we can't do is the actual stone moulds and the ore, because geologically it doesn't exist. But it really takes you back and gives you a really deep appreciation of how skilled our ancestors really were and the depth of knowledge on the materials that they had. But the thing is, it's something you can do. You know, you can do it in your own back garden. It's just understanding what skills you've got in your hand, and it's just a little bit of depth of knowledge and creativity, and you're away, and it's just mud and muck and a bit of hard work. Whenever we run a workshop, whether it's just like a one-to-one at an event or we have a really long course, a 4-day one, we try and impart as much knowledge as we possibly can. The more people do this, the more the secrets that have been lost are uncovered, and the more it empowers people, and it keeps these things alive, because you take a secret to the grave, it's gone forever. And that's why we don't know these things anymore, and that's why there's so many of us out there searching and trying to find them.